Are you ready to take the challenge? My name is Josh Pather, American business entrepreneur. I'm going to be taking Philip Cunningham from 0 to 100,000 in revenue with a brand new photo booth business. Everything has changed in business since the last photo booth boss. So we're doing it all over again. We're starting from 0. Are you ready to accept the challenge? Are you ready to blow up your business? Are you ready to change your life? Are you ready to create your legacy? I show you beautiful places like this to inspire you, to show you what's possible when you start your business. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to work hard? The clock doesn't start till 5 p.m. You have to commit. You have to be ready to take action. But if you want to take it to the next level, we invite you on the journey. Welcome to Photo Booth Boss Season 2, Veterans Edition. Welcome back to Photo Booth Boss, Episode 7. This is going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about marketing.
Ooh.
Google, Facebook, stats, cost per click, cost per lead, ROI. What else we got? Cost per click, impressions, all this stuff, okay? It's going to be a good one. Get your pen and paper ready, and we're going to dive in. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be
Phillip.
back. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So, one thing we haven't covered so far is revenue. So our goal here was to get to 100,000 in 10 months. Mm-hmm. Well, 10 months because we did it last time with the other photo booth boss.
Right.
So, where are we at with revenue?
So, we are currently, as of today, $25,131.04 is the revenue since we started back in December. I'm counting since we started December
1st. Yeah,
December 1st is where I'm tracking.
Okay, so we're over 25% of the way.
We're 25%.
We're someone said something about going to $1 million or something.
Yeah, a million does have. I like the way the ring sounds on that million.
Yeah.
So
Cha-ching. Comment million, guys, if we should go to $1 million. Let us know what you think. Let us know if we should do that. You think we're playing too small for 100,000? Should we go for $1 million?
You know how crazy it would be to be to be able to sit down on a Saturday or something and literally watch the document of somebody going from 0 to $1 million and being able to follow along the entire time. You know how crazy that would be as a video?
It's always crazy until somebody does it.
That's true.
And we're gonna do it. All right. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Well, first of all, I want to show you guys. Philip came prepared with all these stats here that we're going to cover and talk about. Mm-hmm. And you will not be able to grow your business if you cannot understand your numbers, okay? And we need to talk about accounting too. We need to do a whole episode on that because we haven't talked about that.
No.
Are you using QuickBooks yet or no?
No.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Okay.
All right, that'll be on the next episode. Okay, so we're going to talk about Google. So we set up the Facebook ads. Had a little bit of issues with that. Philip's in kind of like a weird area, I think, because the rest of the country, the Facebook ads work fantastically. Mm-hmm. And it's the same exact ad and the same exact ad copy, but we had a little bit of problem with that. So we decided to switch over to Google ads. But guys, once again, Facebook ads does work, okay? I spend money on Facebook ads personally. Like, it works. It's just, Philip's just in a particular area that we haven't tweaked it enough yet. But it's not to say it's not going to work. We just have to go back, spend more time with it. Yeah. But we had a time crunch that we had to get revenue coming in.
Yeah.
So that's why we switched gears. We got to the Google ads. Mm-hmm. Things are going very well with Google ads. So Google is not a scam. And if you've tried it and failed, mm-hmm. you're probably not part of the business club. And what's the business club? Tell them about it.
Man, the business club is what you need to be successful. I'm gonna just put it out there like that.
What's the increases on percentage of being
successful if you're in the business club versus not being in the business club?
So the business club is like trying, being outside the business club is like you're trying the first person trying to make fire. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's what it is. And then once you get in the business club, it's literally someone being like, hey, here's a torch. You already got the fire.
Blow torch too.
Just blow. Yeah. Just put it on the wood and get going.
Yeah.
And I can say that confidently because I have the numbers and figures to show, where we started, the things that we were doing that we trial and error in my particular location that we're working, and then and because of the things that were going on, we changed tactics, we changed things, and that we did that all because of the business club. Being in there, asking the questions, is like, hey, this isn't working for me. What advice would you do? What could we do differently? And you were like, hey, maybe we should try Google Ads. Yeah. And that's how this whole thing started, was because of a question that I put into the business club.
Yep. Perfect. So thank you for getting in there. Guys, if you want more information, photoboothbizclub.com, $37 a month, get access to me and Philip. We're going to be coaching you twice a month. You get access to all courses that we've ever made, including courses that, not even a course, it's literally me recording me and Philip on a Zoom call, and we're setting up his Facebook ads. We're setting up his Google ads, okay? It's valuable content in there. You just got to follow step by step. It is no more difficult than that.
Yeah, you don't have to make fire yourself.
Yeah, do not try to figure this out on your own, okay? Too many people, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to figure it out, blah, 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 blah. You're going to fail. You're going to waste time, energy, and money, okay? So hop in there. We'll see you in there, guys, on the next coaching call. So let's take a look at some of these numbers here. So I love numbers because they tell a story. And the story is a good one because we're positive ROI. So why don't you go down here? So Philip ran some numbers from April 1st to June 7th. Tell us exactly what happened.
So this is when we implemented the Google Ads.
Right.
Previous to this, from December 1st up until April 1st, our main method of getting customers was through Facebook ads. So that's why we're picking off. And so the first metric that I have on here is the clicks. So from that April 1st to June 7th, we've gotten 603 clicks.
Okay.
All right. You want me to go? Just go.
Yeah. Let's go.
So, or we're at impressions, which is basically how many times our ad was seen. Was 5,074.
Yeah.
Our cost per click is $3.36. Total ad cost for this time from April 1st to June 7th, we spent $2,030 on ads.
So that's how much Philip has spent in April, May, June. Oh, so 2 months, right? April, right? So about $1,000 a month is what you're spending. Yeah.
About it. Yep.
Okay.
All right, and then total revenue generated from those ads, because again, that's the main form of advertising we're doing right now. $17,878.29 is what we made.
Isn't that amazing, guys? Comment. Let me know. What do you think of that? $2,000 in, $17,000 out.
Man, that sounds like we got a
we just
recipe.
need to add some zeros there, bro.
We need to add some zeros.
Imagine if we put in 200,000 and made 1.7.
Jesus. Hey, maybe that's the next episode.
Yeah.
So my most popular search term is where the majority of that budget have went to. My most popular search term is photo booth rentals near me. That I think 73% of all my clicks came from that search term.
Okay.
Just that search term alone, I've paid $1,481.55.
Yeah, so like 75% of the budget went to one keyword.
One keyword alone. And that from that 603 clicks, the total 434 of those clicks were from that keyword. Photo booth rentals near me. And then our ads for that we're getting a 11.45% click-through ratio.
Yeah, which is really good. So click-through rate is how many times people see the ad and then click it. And I mean, over 10% is perfect. It's amazing, actually.
And so our return on investment, we're at 780 0.7% of return on investment based on the money we've made and the money that we've invested into the ads.
Yeah.
And then that brings our total business revenue right now, $25,131.04.
Okay, perfect. So that's the Google Ads, guys. So people are searching for photo booth rentals, and Philip is coming up for that. Okay, so these are people with intention to book a photo booth. Not now when you're on Facebook, they're on the toilet and they're seeing your ads, right? And you're just hoping that your ad shows to the right person that's going to have an event coming up, and that may not always be the case. And I'm not saying that's probably what happened to yours. I think we still need to dive in more on your Facebook stuff. But the way the Google ad stuff is going, I mean, we're just gonna keep scaling it up, as you get more bookings. And guys, Philip is using the CRM. Okay, make sure to check that out, crm.photoboothint.com, because he's sending the Google ads. They go into the landing page on there, fill out a quote, then they go into the booking page. They can actually go ahead and book with Philip his photo booths. He has 4 photo booths now, and without even speaking to the customer.
Right.
And how many have you got so far with that?
So I think about 4 or 5 have gotten through. The vast majority that I've gotten from the ads is follow up from that, because the way that we created the customer path is they come through, they go to our landing page, we get notified that person fill out our landing page, and then they get directly inputted into the booking site. They may or may not book from the site, right? But we always get to capture that information from them to follow up. And so that's the key to it. Is not solely relying on the CRM, because just having the CRM is not gonna be what's gonna really make your business. Right. It's just a tool that to help you be more efficient and organized. Yeah,
more efficient, organized, and it's just like a secondary catch, right? Like you already got their name and email, so you're gonna call them and try to book them. But if they want to, they can literally go and book you by themselves, which and you get those bookings, and best money you can make, right? You don't even have to speak to anybody, and it generates a contract and everything. So crm.photoboothint.com. Make sure to go check that out, guys. Whether you're a customer or not, you should be using that, no matter what.
Now I will tell you one thing that a benefit that I've recently realized about having the CRM. In the beginning, a lot of my calls and people that were calling me in were just people that were price shopping, right? And are you available on such and such date? Okay, yes, it's going to be $600 for 2 hours. Oh no, I wasn't looking to book. I was just seeing if what was out there. Just kind of figuring out what the thing is. By having the CRM, they can go on the website, click on the site, and then look at availability, look at pricing, and that's one less person that I need to talk to, and I could focus my time more on more productive things, while still servicing the client.
Perfect. All right, it's a game changer, guys. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the stuff you got printed out here. So monthly revenue. So since starting Google Ads, was that so April you did 6,500? That was all from Google Ads.
All from Google Ads.
Okay, and then May. Big month, almost 9,000. Yeah. Was that graduations? A lot of graduations?
Yep. A lot of graduation parties, lots of a couple of weddings, but majority of graduation parties.
So almost 10 grand, man. Can't wait for your first 10 grand month. That'll be good.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah. And then June, we just started June anyway, so 2,700 on that. Okay, so let's take a look at the analysis and insight on here. You want to go through what you got in there?
So yes, this was just some general, based on the facts and figures. We're talking about the performance we did, basically everything you and I have already talked about before: the clicks, the impressions, the CP, the cost per click, and then the revenue. Like literally everything that's in here, you and I have already talked about specifically, especially like that 73%, which blew me away when I really sat there and looked at the numbers. One search term came up 73% of my entire budget. Yeah. But it was also, you could also say that one search term made me 73% of the revenue.
Yeah, the 7. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, wow, we found something that is a gold mine. And then our return on investment, like you already talked about, that's definitely positive.
So we need to figure out what the cost per lead is.
Okay.
Yeah. So cost per lead is important, guys. Make sure you know exactly. So you should be like, if for example, let's say you have a $10 cost per lead, right? So you spend $100, you're going to get 10 leads, right? Then how many of those leads turn into customers? So let's say if you book 2 of those customers, right? Then your cost per customer is now $50. So every time you spend $50, you should feel guilty for not getting a customer. You go out to eat, you spend $50. Like, man, I could have got a customer with that.
Okay. All right.
That's so cost per lead.
Cost per lead. Okay, I'll add that.
Cost CPL, right? Then CPC, cost per customer, which is also cost per click too, but cost per customer or cost per acquisition, whatever you want to call it. But it's good to have those numbers.
Okay.
So then you can see exactly. Then once we have that, let's say if your cost per lead is, do you know that or no?
I don't want to misspoke, but I would say somewhere around $30.
$30?
Yeah, about around there, $35 somewhere
Okay.
around there.
So cost per lead is 30.
Mm-hmm.
Then how many times do we have to spend $30 to get a customer? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say if we got to spend, so 3 will be what?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do, so that'll be 90, right? So let's say you got to get 3 leads to book 1, okay?
Yeah.
So then that'll be a $90 cost per customer, right? So to get a customer, you got to spend $90. Then now that we have these 2 numbers, then we're going to be optimizing them, right? So how do we get the cost per lead down to $20? Okay. Then how do we get the cost per customer down, below $90? And then that's also going to tell you, like, going to help you figure out your margins per an event. Like, okay, you're charging $600 for 2 hours. It costs you $90 to get the booking, right? So you're already at like $510 now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you deduct backwards from there, overhead, travel, whatever the rest of the cost is. So that way you know that, okay, it's not like, oh my God, I'm making $600, right? Because you're really not.
You're really not.
Because you paid $90 to get the customer. So a lot of people don't account for that. And then like, oh, my business is making money, but then you're like, where's all the money?
Right.
You know what I mean? You hear a lot of people say that because they don't know their numbers properly. So you want to make sure that you understand that. Guys, all this stuff is super important to track, and it's only going to be tracking if you have your Google Ads set up properly with the tracking codes, right? Once again, the video of me setting up Philip's tracking and everything is inside the Photo Booth Business Club, photoboothbizclub.com, because he's not going to be able to get these numbers without that tracking in place. And Google ads are not going to work for you if you don't have the tracking in place.
Right.
So everybody out there who's tried Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever and has not worked for you because you don't have the tracking in place. And why the tracking is so critical, because it reports the data back to Google, right? So if Philip was running this stuff without tracking, he would not be able to see that keyword term, the data from that keyword term. So, for example, when someone goes to Google, they typed in photo booth rental near me. It tracked them when they left Google and got onto Philip's website, and then it tracked them when it got up to Philip's thank you page. Yeah. And so, when the customer landed on the thank you page, the tracking code sent the data back to the Google platform and said, "Hey, good job. Send me more of these people." Right. So if you don't have that critical step not set up properly, Google doesn't know if it's doing a good job or not. And this is where most people suffer. Nobody's talking about this stuff here. I've spent a lot of money on Google ads, and if you don't have this stuff set up properly, you basically, you can burn money. You should burn it. Yeah. Because it's not optimizing. So Google needs to know. Google's a learning algorithm. They have AI working on the back end. And if you're not feeding data back to it, it doesn't know it's doing a good job. And then it's guessing. It's consistently guessing because it doesn't know, these are the customers. Right. But since you are feeding data back to it, over time, these numbers will get better because it's going to learn, right? It's going to learn and it's going to optimize and get better. They want to do a good job and send you cheaper customers. And the only way to do that is to send the data. Okay, so that's critical. If you guys tried it and it's not working, and that's probably why it's not working. So what else you had on here? Let's see. Oh yeah, Google questions. Okay, so what adjustments could we incorporate to maximize our return? So you should be spending some time every week tweaking the ads. So you go into Google. Did we look at the search terms? Remember the search terms in there?
We did. We tried to remove a lot of like the 360 type terms. So right now we have it mostly really nicely dialed in on just mirror booth, photo booth near me, terms like that.
Yeah.
And the stuff that we didn't do, like the 360, are taken out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you still need to go and do that like once a week. Okay, so once a week, go in there, click on the campaign, go into the ad, and then go into search terms. Right, guys, search terms are what people type into Google that triggers your ad. And the reason why you want to optimize that is because you don't want your ad to show up for a service that you don't offer. So Philip doesn't want to be shown for 360 photo booths. So he has that as a negative keyword inside his Google. And so what that means is it tells Google like, hey, if somebody types in 360 photo booth near me, do not show my ad, right?
Right.
And so that's how we're going to optimize. So optimizing is going to be refining those terms down so that only the money keywords are showing up.
Okay.
So that's step one. Step two would be optimizing the ad itself. Okay, make sure the title, the descriptions, make sure that I think we can upload images in there, videos.
That might be something that we could definitely work on because
Yeah.
Because of the other, like the search terms and stuff, there's only so much that you could edit out.
Yeah.
But the ads themselves, we could definitely see what, maybe do some split testing or something like with videos and things like that. Because right now we're just running everything off of a search campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the search campaign that we set up, we did pull in some ads from some videos from your YouTube channel. So that's another reason why you want to get the YouTube in there, because when people are searching, sometimes it does pop up video on there.
Okay.
You know, so that will be, you know, if someone clicks your ad, they check out the YouTube video, like it's going to be really good for you, especially like doing that venue tours and stuff like that. So I think that will be the next step. Then the last step would be the landing page. You know, so we need to make sure the title is good, make sure that it's loading fast, make sure there's a good video or pictures on the landing page, and make sure we have enough like testimonials, pictures of the booth, and we're asking people for their information like multiple times on that page. So those are the three things that we could do to improve the ROI.
Okay.
And that's stuff that I work on daily, like in my business, you know. So we're always like improving that stuff, and it's a constant tweak. It's a constant tweak that you just have to always be working on. Okay, so should we increase our spend on high performing keywords or keep a mix of different keywords like we do now? If you increase spend, you are going to get more leads and you're going to get more bookings, and it's going to come down to your staff.
Okay.
So if you're at a point now where you're maxed out to what you can handle, then I wouldn't recommend doing that. How do you feel?
Honestly, I think you're right. Because there's times where I'm booked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, and that's almost getting to be like a common thing for
Yeah.
me now. So I don't know if I even can have more events booking. The problem that I'm also facing though now, which is why I want to increase my staff, is because some of the leads that we're getting, they're for, you know, let's say, you know, Saturday the 15th, you know, just or whatever month, and I'm booked, but I'm also getting 3 or 4 other requests for that same Saturday the 15th.
Yeah.
So I'm spending money, you know, let's say 20,
So what are you
30
doing with the booked ones? Are you selling them or?
No, I don't have a way to offload them. Is that what you would do in that case where you've got those other leads and you can't fulfill them?
Yeah, that's why you need to partner up with someone. Yeah, because you don't want to be paying for stuff. Yeah, that's like the worst thing right there.
Right. That's
Yeah.
my problem.
Yeah. So I don't think we should. I don't think we should spend more now. I think you should raise prices maybe
Okay.
if you're getting booked a lot. Do people complain about your prices?
No. Well, I mean, people always complain about some prices. Some people.
What
do.
percentage would you say?
I'd probably say maybe 20%.
20% of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, gradually increase prices then, and that's how you can make more money and get a better return for the ad spend. But I don't think, based on what you're telling me now, I don't think it'll be a good idea to spend more money because it's just those popular dates,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you're gonna get double and triple booked. So you have to sort that problem out first,
Okay.
or partner with somebody, or join Philip's team. Come buy a photo booth from us, join Philip's team, and he'll be able to give you those bookings.
Yeah.
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 So I think that's a good nugget that we uncovered, because it'll be a big waste, you know, especially if you getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that.
That's
Yeah.
a real problem that I'm having. Though. Like it's a growing
Yeah,
pain that
yeah.
I'm experiencing, is that I could probably open my phone right now and I have 2 or 3 people that have reached out to me
Yeah.
through our ads, but they're looking for the same date or same time on the date, or there's not enough window in between for me to go from one event to the next. So
Do you have anyone that you can, like any other photo booth companies in the area? Oh, what about the couple that came and rescued you that one time?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Our Mike and Sherry,
Yeah.
they're some of your customers.
Yeah.
I think I've actually done one for them.
Yeah.
I could ask them, see what their schedule is. But
Because inside the CRM you can put them as a what is it called, an employee or contractor or
as a
something,
team.
and then you
Okay.
can assign the event to them.
yeah, I could definitely ask to see what their availability is. But,
Yeah.
if they want to do events, because not everybody wants to do this full time. So
Oh, really?
that was a conversation that I had with them.
Okay.
They're not. This is like a side thing for them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But I definitely have that conversation to see if they could use them as a resource
Yeah.
to unload some of the extra bookings that I'm
Yeah.
having.
I think that needs to be top priority for you when you get back. Like, start vetting out some companies that you can outsource to, and then do the commission split on there, or just sell them. Like, you can sell them the booking, you can sell them the lead.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I got a lead. You want $50, whatever. Show them the show and be like, hey, like, we're legit. We're doing this here with Josh.
Mhm.
Because you're not just gonna sell them like a fake lead or something like that.
Gosh,
you know what I mean?
no.
So
Reputation,
they know-
man.
Yeah, reputation. Yeah. But I think that needs to be top priority, because you're missing out a lot of money. That's the easiest low hanging fruit right now for you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's the ideal percentage of revenue should I be allocating to Google Ads?
Yeah, I think we covered that though a little bit with especially with the cap and capacity.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to be adding any more of where I'm at.
Yeah. I don't. It's not really a percentage of revenue. I think it's just more like what kind of returns that you're getting, and how much can you handle. Like I don't think there's a business metric where like, yeah, 10% of top line revenue should be spent on, it's all depending on what you can deliver and what you can fulfill on, which seems like that's kind of where the problem is right now. So, but that's a good question though. And then, is it ever a good idea to run seasonal, holiday specific ads? Yeah, I think so. Inside the search campaign, there's call out extensions. So there's extensions and call out extensions that you can go on there and type in like, holiday photo booth, or what else? What's a big holidays coming up?
Well, I just bought some props for not Thanksgiving, Halloween, and
Halloween.
then Christmas is a huge time. I've got
We're not even talking about props, man. Shout out to kingprops.com.
I already know where I get my props from.
Guys, yeah. I forgot about the props, man. All right, if you guys want high quality props, make sure to check out kingprops.com, okay? So, yeah, if you go in there, type in, I think there's a promo section, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can go out there and add like, holiday special or holiday photo booth or Thanksgiving, special, stuff like that. Because there are companies, like when you go onto Google, like it has a little shout out, Thanksgiving sale or something like that, Black Friday, whatever. So I think that's good. Definitely plan for those, and then make sure to turn them off when like the holiday or the sale is passed.
Okay.
Or you can just go on there and put like, hey, like this month's sale, something generic like that, because that's going to make your ad look bigger. And that's what you want. You want that real estate space on the top.
Okay.
All right, cool. And then last question here. Any advice on how to lower ad costs? The ad cost lowering is going to come down to the optimizations that we have. The cost of the ad, I mean, you really can't lower that. It's like, how do we lower the cost per lead?
Right.
And so that's going to come down to, okay, we got 5,000 people saw your ad, like 600 clicks, right? So We didn't get 600 leads though, right?
No.
So do you know how many leads we got?
I think about 73, 75, somewhere in that range.
So how do we get 300? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was 600 opportunities that we missed.
Yeah.
Right. That's 600 people that came to your page and didn't fill it out. And we actually need to do retargeting now that I think about that. So we gotta set that up next.
Retargeting.
We retarget the people who did not become a lead. So this is a separate type of campaign. So you ever been on a website, then you hop on Facebook, and then you see ads?
Yeah. You know who I see that all the time?
It's your boy. Yeah.
I go on Facebook, I see you. I go on YouTube, I see you.
Yeah.
I go on Instagram, I see you.
So that's all retargeting. That's what that's called.
Okay.
So you retarget people depending on what type of actions they took on your website. Now we can tell Google like, hey, I want to retarget people who did not fill out the quote form. Right?
Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
And then it's be a little bit cheaper. Yeah. That's why we're having this talks, man.
Man, I learned
We
so
have to
much.
get the Google ad set up first and running. Now we do the retargeting.
Okay.
But the good thing is that like all those 600 people, like they're still in Google's database.
Gotcha.
So the moment we turn on the retargeting ad, boom, we can hit them ASAP. So that's good. So I think that's also is going to lower the ad cost, because if they see your ad a second time, they're more likely like, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot to fill out the form, or maybe they were driving or something,
Right.
the phone, they got a phone call or something like that. So retargetings usually bring you a lot cheaper cost per lead, cost per ad on there. So any other questions about Google Ads?
Right now, my focus right now is that the digital or the drop off booths, because I'm iPad Trio booth, man. Come get it from PBI. You can get it for how much is it? $2,500. We got shop pay, we got financing. That's what Philip is talking about when he talks about drop off booths. Yeah.
So he has a combination. He has a mirror booth, he has a portable booth, and he got a drop off booths for the lower events. Okay,
Yes.
so it's good to have a mixture of booths, and we got you covered here at PBI. So come take a look.
And that's one of the parts of my business that's growing the fastest, because because it's a lower cost.
Yeah.
It's more accessible to a lot of people. They like the price point. They like how long they get it. And now I'm building a team infrastructure to be able to manage those.
Yeah.
So I debated on whether or not that's something I should do as far as the Google ads, is to specifically target, like we were doing with Facebook in the beginning, for those.
I wonder if we should do the Facebook ads just for that drop offs.
That might be.
That'll be good. That's the play right there.
That might be the play.
Yeah.
Because I'm having the infrastructure to handle that extra load, and that's where I want to scale.
Yeah. All right, guys. We covered a lot today. Go back and review all this information. Once again, if you want to join the Photo Booth Business Club, photoboothbizclub.com. Join us in there so we can answer all your questions. We're having deep conversations. You get to meet other people that are on the journey. Philip's in there, and really get the right information. Not theory. This stuff is actually working. We have the data here to prove it. And maybe we should post these. Actually, I'm going to cover this stuff in the next coaching call. And dive in a little bit deeper. I think that would be good. So you got your notes on what you're going to work on. We're 25% of the way there.
Yes.
So and we're going to get there faster now that the ads, because when we started,
that was it's all I was thinking about it. It's kind of like throwing lighter fluid on an open flame.
Yeah.
As soon as we started it was like it took off. Whereas in the beginning we were starting. We were testing Facebook ads. It just wasn't really moving as fast as we like. We were still getting traction.
Yeah.
But this is
it was a lot about the price, right? The Facebook people.
So the problem that I've gotten with Facebook people, it's like you said before. It's like the people sitting on the toilet. They see something cool. They touch it, and then that becomes a lead for me.
Yeah.
I reach out to the people and they're like, "You're lying. I never filled out no lead." Like literally, people would argue with me because I somehow scammed their name, email, and phone number.
Yeah.
So
shout out to scamming. All right, guys. Well, make sure to tune in, comment, let us know where you're watching from. This is Photo Booth Boss Veterans Edition. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
We'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care.